everyone. Today our group want to say something about poverty and poor nutrition. My name is Sang Nian. First of all, I want to introduce my group members. Our big brother Yu Ning and So. And you know that first of all, I want to give some specific information about poverty and poor nutrition to show how risky it is now in the United States. According to 2010 government survey, there are 13.4% Coloradians at the problem of poverty level. The definition of poverty is a family whose income lower than $23,000 per year. Although America is one of the rich countries all over the world, the hunger and poor nutrition are still the serious social problem. According to the article Hunger in America, written by Cassie Koch, there are 31 million Americans suffer from hunger. What's more, in the 20th century, the demand for food aid increased 17%, and in the 21st century, just in the past 3 years, there are 7 million people joined in Food Bank, which is a non-profit organization to give people some assistance to help them stay away from hunger. And then Sosa will introduce some specific information about our topic.
Thank you, San. Hello, everyone. Now I'm going to introduce the problem. According to the article titled Low Income Families Project, written by the Urban Institute Policy Center in 2010, people living in poverty are more likely to have poor health. And as you know, that poor people are often uneducated, low paid, and forced to make choices among food, housing, healthcare, and childcare. I want to use this diagram to introduce the problem for you. You can see clearly that a diet which is not nutritious food leads to health problems. And poor people leads to buy cheap food, because cheap food keeps them from feeling hungry. And as we know that cheap food is usually not healthful food. So not healthful food means not nutritious food, so cheap food will lead to health problems. As a result, poor people are more likely to have health problems. Because of low income and jobs disappear, some people forced to line up at food banks to feed themselves and their families. There are many effects for poor nutrition that caused by poverty. Yunin will tell us some information about those effects.
Okay, thank you, Suat. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, as was said, poverty causes the poor nutrition. However, in some ways, the poor nutrition also causes a lot of social problems, and one of them is obesity. According to the article, The Fast Food Nation, the poor people in the United States usually choose the fast food to eat. And the reason why these people usually eat the low nutrition but high calories food is they don't have enough economic capability to buy the healthy food, for example, vegetables, to balance their nutrition. You know, there are nearly 13,000 McDonald's restaurants in the United States, and the poor people are the biggest consumer groups for these fast food restaurants. You know, eating too much fast food makes people become obese. According to the article, The Obese Woman, there are 65% American adults are obese. So the obesity problem is becoming the biggest problem in the United States. Otherwise, the obesity problem also causes some health problems. For example, the heart disease and diabetes. And according to the video, The VID00001, some obese children get heart disease, and some of them died before their parents. And now I'd like to talk about the diabetes disease. According to the article, The Diabetes Disease in American Adults, there are nearly 40 million Americans get the diabetes disease. So the obesity problem is becoming the biggest problem in the United States. As a result, the poverty causes the poor nutrition, and poor nutrition also causes some health problems. And this is why our group thinks that poverty and poor nutrition should attract our attention. So now my partner Sam will introduce one solution she found for the poverty and poor nutrition problems.
Okay, there is a solution I think can solve the poverty and poor nutrition. That is, American government should develop the agriculture. To solve the poverty and poor nutrition, the poor people have to be able to afford the price of healthy food, which means vegetables and fruits. If healthy food is still keeping the high price, I think poor people may give up this kind of food. To help the poor people, the government needs to come up with a sustainable development idea to solve the poverty and poor nutrition. According to the article Agriculture, it says agriculture is a way that people consume, interact with, and modify the biodiversity and reliance of the environment. It means agriculture is a sustainable way that facilitates ecological and human health, equal and stable the society. There is a good example in China to illustrate why developed agriculture is the best solution to solve poverty and poor nutrition. There are 1.4 billion people in China, and there are 4 million farmers. That means each farmer just needs to feed 5 people. However, compared to America, there is 300 million people in America, and there are just 300 million people in America, and there are just 3 million farmers. That means each farmer needs to feed 100 people. Some people may argue that American farmers use more technological machines to help them, so that they didn't need much human sources. However, I want to say that the reason why they use much machines is a lot of farmers grow corns. According to the article American Agriculture, America is the largest corn producer all over the world. American government gives some benefits like free taxes to encourage farms to grow corn. Nobody can deny that American government did a good job to encourage farms to grow corn. So I think in the same way, the American government can give some benefits to the farms to encourage them to grow vegetables and fruits. To keep the price of food stable, the market needs as much available food as possible, that even poor people can afford them. So I think developed agriculture is the best solution to solve the poverty and poor nutrition. So do you have some question for me?
I have a question. It's actually an interesting solution, but I have just a small question. How can government help develop agriculture in the United States?
A good question. You know that in one hand I mentioned that American government did a good job to encourage American farms to grow corn. So I said in the same way American government can encourage them to grow vegetables and fruits. On the other hand, I came up with an example in China that every year Chinese government decide different areas to grow different kinds of vegetables and fruits to make sure the price of healthy food is stable. Even though I know that the government system is very different in China and in America, but I still think that American government can learn something from Chinese government, that they can encourage the farms and different areas to grow different kinds of vegetables and fruits to make sure there is much available food in the market to make sure the healthy food price stable.
Okay, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
No, Sam, first of all, I want to say I really agree with you because I also mentioned this solution in my research paper. But I had some experience to go to a community farm for our service learning class. So we helped the people in the farm and helped them to pull the weed. Do you know weed?
Weeding is to cut down the valueless plants.
Yeah, got it. So I think weeding is really a not hard job because everybody can do it, and they don't need any knowledge of agriculture. So do you think that improving the agriculture can only solve the power nutrition problem?
No, I don't think so. You know that why I think to develop agriculture is the best solution to solve poverty and poor nutrition. That is, it can not only solve the poor nutrition part, it can also solve the poverty part. Because you know that I mentioned that a lot of American farms grow corn that they can use much machines to help them. So if they grow some carrots, they cannot use much machines. That means they need some human resources to help them. That will offer some job opportunity to the poor people. So this solution can not only solve the poor nutrition part, but can also solve the poverty part. And I think it can solve these two parts together.
Yeah, I have the same opinion.
Okay, so do you guys have any more questions?
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Okay, so would you like to give another solution about our topic?
Yeah, sure. My solution is educational program, and poor people try to satisfy hunger with food that costs least amount of money. And getting maximum food from nutritious food is more expensive than, for instance, buying hamburger of the dollar menus at a fast food restaurant. And however, a person can prepare healthy food inexpensively. You may ask me how. In order to do this, it's necessary to have an understanding of serving sizes, vitamins and minerals, calories, and nutritional values. Moreover, it's important to know what nutrients a body needs and and what foods can meet those needs. To provide this knowledge, educational programs are being developed to teach people how to shop for and prepare healthy food, inexpensively. I still repeat, inexpensively. The primary objective of this offer is to teach meal planning, budgeting, as well as cooking skills. According to the article titled "Nature Makes Health Education Fun and Affordable," written by Aaron White, a group in Chicago area has recently begun new programs that utilizes Spanish materials to low-income pregnant Hispanic women. This program gives each participant a free rice cooker and teach them how to use these cookers to prepare healthy food by using 4 primary whole foods, which are whole grains, split peas, lentils, and fruits and vegetables. The people who participated in this program said that their lives are changed by this program. And also they said that this program helped them to have more energy, so they can exercise more. Another organization called Share Our Strength developed the program Cooking Matters and Shopping Matters. In this program, chefs and nutrition educators give give cooking classes for low-income families. Teach them how to select and prepare healthy food inexpensively. I think these educational programs help people to secure and select healthy food inexpensively. That's why I think this solution is the best solution, because it helps to solve poor nutrition and poverty in the same time. So do you have any question about this solution?
Yes, so I really like your solution, but I have a question that this program, you mentioned this program focuses on teaching people how to cook the healthy food. But the poor people, I think, cannot afford the healthy food. So what do you think about that?
Can you repeat your question?
Sorry. This program mentions focus on teaching people how to cook healthy food.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that poor people cannot afford the healthy food. So what do you think about that?
I mentioned that the solution teach people how to cook healthy food by using poor people can use food stamp to have food. You know that cheap food can give them a healthy food. I mean, the whole grains and spelt beans and lentils, they are in supermarket and they are cheap than other food. So they can use food stamp and private programs to have food and use it to cook healthy food inexpensively.
Thank you.
I have a question. I think your solution is very useful, and I also think these programs can help people to overcome the poor nutrition problems. But how can these people know this program?
It's an interesting question. You know, by advertising, poor people and other people can know about this program, because it's an important program. And poor nutrition, not for just poor people, also other people suffering from poor nutrition. You mean before poor people apply for governmental program and private program, they can have an information about educational program. And governmental program can make them enter the classes for educational programs to know some information about how to cook healthy food.
So you mean advertise these programs?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Any question?
No.
So let's move to other solution.
Okay, thank you. So, as you know, the poverty problem makes people have stressful lives, and unemployment is the main reason that causes the poverty. As I said in my introduction, the poverty also causes the poor nutrition. So I think for solving the poverty and poor nutrition problems, we should focus on solving the poverty first. So my solution is the unemployed people should learn some practical working skills by taking some classes, and the U.S. government should also offer some job opportunities to the unemployed people. According to the article, education and unemployment, a major benefit of education is lower risk of unemployment at higher education levels. So what this means is, the higher degrees you have, then you may have lower opportunities of being unemployment. There are millions of young people graduate from the universities every year with their master's degree and bachelor degree. And these people with the high degrees are who the companies need. However, the people who don't have the high degrees cannot compete with these people who have the high degrees. So I think this is the reason why there are so many people lose their job. According to the article, The American Dream, the author mentioned that there were 3 million Americans have lost their jobs. So this is why I think the unemployed people should improve their working skills by taking some classes. For example, there are some programs teach people how to fix cars. And I think if the unemployed people learn how to fix cars, they may find a job in dealer shops. As you know, fixing cars in the United States is very expensive. So the auto So the auto engineers can earn a high income. So this is why I think that learning some working skills are very necessary for the unemployed people, which can help them to overcome the poverty problem. Otherwise, I think the US government should also offer some job opportunities to the unemployed people. According to the article, The New Deals, the President Roosevelt suggests the US government offers some low-level jobs to the low-income people. For example, the low-income people could find a job when the government built a bridge. I think this is a win-win situation. On the one hand, the inexpensive labor force can reduce the cost of engineering, and on the other hand, the unemployed people can find a job and which can help them to overcome the poverty problems. So I think learning some practical working skills by taking some classes are what the unemployed people should focus on. And the US government should also offer some job opportunities to the unemployed people. So as a result, as I said, poverty causes the poor nutrition. And so I think if the poor nutrition can be served, if the poverty can be served, the poor nutrition will also be served in the future. So this is my solution.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I like your solution, and I also have this solution, but I have a question that, you know that we have already watched the video Food Stamp, and in the video it mentioned that there is a lady who want to join in SNAP, and even though she had a master's degree, she still cannot find a job for a long time. So do you think if poor people learn the basic skill from the classes, they can find a job?
I think you remind me some point, and I'd like to separate your question into two parts. Because I think you asked me two questions. And the first question, why the lady in the video cannot find a job for a long time? I think the reason may be some of Americans, they only focus on the high income jobs, and they don't think that low income job can help them to overcome the poverty. And I found the article, The 4 Reasons for Unemployment, which was written by VID00001, and he mentioned that if the people only focus on the high income job, they will lose a lot of opportunities of earning an income. So in my opinion, learning an income is much better than no income. So the second question is to learn some basic skills
From classes.
from classes can help them
Find a job.
can find a job. Honestly, I'm not sure about it. But, I think that learning some practical skills is an opportunity for the unemployed people. But nobody sure that who can find a job or not. So I think this is only an opportunity, and I think for the unemployed people, the opportunity is very important.
Okay, thank you.
I want to ask you a specific question about the last part that you said. How can poor people learn handicrafts if they don't have enough money?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question. Very interesting. So I want to say, like, I think we can compare the time for these classes. These classes will not is some short-term classes. It may only spend maybe 6 months to 1 year. And comparing with the university, we can get a bachelor degree maybe at least 3 years. So I think it will not spend a long time. So this is a good point for this solution. And on the other hand, I think we can talk about maybe some ideas from Glenn's groups. The high tuition fee is becoming a social problem in the United States. So, as you mentioned, there are poor people, they don't have enough money, so maybe they cannot maybe offer the tuition of the university. Comparing with the high tuition in the university and the classes, this class will spend maybe less money if it is cheaper. So this is why I think that this taking classes are very suitable to the maybe unemployed people.
Yeah, I understand your point.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys have any questions?
No.
No, thank you.
Okay. Let's discuss who has the best solution. Okay.
You first.
Okay. For me, I think, as I said, the poverty causes the poor nutrition. So I think for serving the poverty and poor nutrition, we should focus on the poverty first. So my solution is only focus on the poverty, but it can basically solve the poverty problem. And I think if the people can earn some money, they will have more opportunities to buy some healthy food. So this is why I think my solution is the best.
I agree with you that your solution is a good solution, but I don't think it is a bad solution because I think even if the poor people have a job and they can earn enough money, how you can make sure that they will choose healthy food?
Actually, I'm not sure why. Because eating what kind of food, like eating style, is people's freedom. Maybe there are some rich people, they also choose the fast food. So I think, I'm not sure that if the people overcome the poverty, they will choose the healthy food. But I want to say this is opportunities for them.
Okay, so I think my solution is a bad solution because to develop agriculture can solve poverty and poor nutrition basically. And I think to develop agriculture, I focus on the future. So I think my solution is the best solution.
I think your solution is a perfect solution to solve poverty and poor nutrition together, but I think it will take a long time. How about poor people in this period of time?
Yeah, it is. It cannot stop during this long time. So I think.
Yeah, that's why I think the educational program is the best solution. Because poor people can use the money that you have and can use food stamp to prepare healthy food, and they can avoid poor nutrition.
However, I think that your solution can just to solve the poor nutrition part. It cannot solve the poverty part.
I think to add something. I think the poor nutrition also causes the poverty. For example, I'd like to give you some specific example. If the people can, as I said, poor nutrition causes some health problem. If the people have some health problem, they cannot. I think they don't have enough energy to focus on their jobs.
Cannot achieve a good grade.
Yeah, and they will lose the job. So you get the point. And on the other hand, if the poor people get some health problem, they will spend a lot of money to buy some medicine. And this is also a pressure for these maybe low-income families.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with Soso's opinion.
After you explain, I think I also agree with Soso.
So, in conclusion, we discussed 3 possible solutions, which are improving agriculture, and this solution is a perfect solution, but future solution, and other solution is solving unemployment. So this solution just focus on poverty and doesn't focus on poor nutrition. And the third solution, which is educational programs, and is cover both poverty and poor nutrition. And we're glad to answer any question that you have. Thank you for listening.